I'm Melissa Ambers, and I'm the author of Embrace Your Future: AI's Role in the Workplace. This book is available on Amazon, or you can reach out to me in a message if you would like to have a autographed copy. But go back and look at the previous videos if you have not watched them. All right, so we are in chapter 5, and the title of chapter 5 is The Emotional Intelligence of AI and Humans. Emotional intelligence, what is that? It sounds like, it's something bigger than what it is. Um, but it's simply having compassion, right? So it's more than just being a leader. It's more than just being the person that's the driving force within an organization. It's having some of that EI, implemented as well. And that is something that some people actually have to learn. Believe it or not, we have to learn that. So getting into this chapter, we're going to hit on some of those things. Um, in the first section, well, the first paragraph, I have something that's bolded. Human factor remains an essential element in the workplace. We're going to get into what that means in a little bit and really talk about that EI, that, having that emotional intelligence throughout the organization. Let me see, where do we want to start? It's so much in here. It's like, oh, where do we want to start? So let's get into nurturing. So let's talk about nurturing emotional intelligence for success. Emotional intelligence is an indispensable asset in the workplace, often overshadowed by technical skills and qualifications. However, it plays a pivotal role in determining workplace excellence by fostering positive relationships, enhancing communication, and facilitating strong leadership. Building strong relationships, effective communication, conflict resolution, teamwork, leadership, stress management, adaptability, decision making, customer relations, conflict prevention, motivation and productivity, organizational culture. There's an entire manual that can be written on emotional intelligence, on how it affects, how it creates a culture, how it can change the atmosphere within an organization. And I can go on and on and on. But emotional intelligence is something that we all really need to look for and look at as we are going through this whole process of shifting and uh, transforming the way that an organization works. Part of that is keeping your team involved, not just, okay, we're doing a training today because we're changing this tool. Have a meeting, be open with, your team. We have noticed these problems. We have noticed that you're having issues with this system that is taking too long, that is dragging. You're not getting the responses you need, which in turns affects your productivity throughout the day. So we've seen this problem. We've even heard it from other uh, employees. So, due to this, we want to fix the problem. We want to fix the issue. And by fixing the issue, we're going to implement these new tools, or we're bringing in a firm to help train us and really understand on the things that we need to do. So, if you see people wandering around the office or asking you questions, be willing to answer their questions and show them whatever they're asking for because they're here to help us. So just be mindful of, some of those things when you are shifting, when you're transitioning, letting that department or the entire organization based on what it is, what is happening and why it's happening. So with emotional intelligence, there's a lot of things. Like I said, there's a lot of things within emotional intelligence. Another section in here is nurturing the human element. Um, and it is the core of an organization's success. All right, we're going to highlight some of the things that we're talking about here. Emotional intelligence training. I just said, some of us have to be trained on that. Emotional aware leadership, team building and empathy, effective communication. Let them know what's going on. And not just because I said so, or we're changing it because I'm paying for it. Talk to them, be open, let them know what's happening so they can be more willing to help you in the long term to get what needs to be done. Conflict resolution workshops, feedback that fosters growth, mentorship programs, AI assisted training, designing AI with emotional sensitivity, psychological safety, measuring emotional intelligence, support for employee well being, cultivate a growth mindset, emotional support programs, recognition of emotional efforts. Um, those are some more things on like nurturing emotional intelligence. Um, leadership support for emotional intelligence, emotionally aware leadership development, conflict resolution skills, mentorship and coaching, continuous feedback, skill development for nurturing the human element, emotional intelligence training, self awareness, self regulation, empathy, interpersonal inter I'm sorry, interpersonal skills, and customization. And we go in, talk about a little bit of some of these things that you should include in when you're going through um, emotional intelligence and really changing and shifting the way that looks for your organization. Here's another section. We're still in chapter 5. Another section that we have in here, beyond dollars, non-monetary rewards that inspire and motivate. You want to recognize, you want to, kind of inspire them, give some type of rewards, for um, throughout your organization to really push and show some of that EI. Um, Here are some considerations: public recognition, praise and gratitude, flexible work arrangements, professional development, additional time off, employee of the month or quarter awards, project ownership, task delegation, mentorship and career guidance, team building and social activities, wellness programs, workplace flexibility, challenging assignments, leadership opportunities, work life integration, casual dress days, community involvement, innovation and idea recognition, peer recognition, time and passion projects. Um, and it's so many more. It's so many other things that you're doing. And some of you probably already have this implemented within your organization. That's amazing. But if you do not, please consider adding some of these things within your organization, some awards, some recognitions to really show your appreciation for what your team is doing. Because if you didn't have that team in place, you wouldn't be where you are today, or you wouldn't be able to do some of the things that you're able to do right now. So really show your recognition in that. Raises are great, absolutely. Give raises, but there are some other things that's a little bit more personal, to really show how appreciative you are for having them on your team. Thank you for listening into this. Again, we was on chapter 5, emotional intelligence. Um, we could just talk so much more about this, but we only have limited time. So Thank you again. I'm Melissa Ambers. Stay tuned. We're not done yet. Next, we're moving to chapter 6. So make sure that you are here for that.